Hey guys, glad you're here for another soft little mystery. Earlier this week, I brought home an old radio, one of those boxy wooden ones with a dial that feels like turning a tiny ship's wheel. I found it at a sleepy flea market between a stack of faded postcards and a bowl full of keys that probably don't open anything anymore. It looked charmingly unreliable, which is exactly my type. But when I turned it on, it didn't play music or news or even the usual late-night whispers of static. Instead, it started telling someone's memory, and it wasn't mine. The radio crackled gently, warming itself awake like an old cat stretching in sunlight. A soft amber glow filled the dial window, warmer than any radio light needs to be. And then a voice drifted out. Not a broadcast, not a show, a memory. The voice described a scarf, deep red, woolen, and determined to fly, slipping away on a windy bridge. The way the voice laughed at the absurdity made it feel too intimate to be random. I paused, halfway through unpacking groceries, wondering if I had accidentally tuned into someone's diary. When I turned the dial, the radio clicked to a frequency that didn't exist on its panel. No numbers, no markings, just a soft hum that felt like someone thinking. Out of curiosity or mild concern for my own sanity, I tuned a little more. The next voice spoke about a childhood kitchen, warm bread, sunlit windows, a floorboard that squeaked only on Tuesdays. I could practically smell the yeast and hear the clink of jars being nudged into place. Moments later, someone knocked on my door. My upstairs neighbor, Mr. Rennick, stood there holding his ever-present notebook. He took it everywhere, even the recycling room. "Did you turn on a documentary or something?" he asked. "I heard someone talking about tomatoes." I told him it was just an old radio picking up something. He frowned, listening harder. "I think I've lived that one," he murmured, which didn't help clarify anything. Throughout the afternoon, the radio dipped into more memories, all different voices, all unrelated, all too personal to have been intentionally recorded. A garden at sunset, a cafe with chipped blue cups, a train window covered in racing raindrops. Each memory came with its own temperature. The kitchen story warmed the air. The rainy train memory cooled it. The garden memory smelled faintly like tomatoes, which was uncomfortably convincing for a device made in the 1950s. Once, while I was making tea, I heard the dial click on its own, just a small shift, like the radio wanted to choose the next memory itself. I said aloud, mostly as a joke, "Whose memory is this?" The static fluttered politely. Not an answer, but an acknowledgement. Then came a memory spoken in two voices at once, a soft duet of recollection, weaving a shared moment from different perspectives. It wasn't eerie. It was tender, almost comforting, like listening to two old friends remember something they loved. Just as I was getting used to this strange routine, the radio played a voice that felt different. Familiar, somehow. Calm. "It won't be long now," it said. "Someone will find this radio soon." Not ominous, just factual, like weather. And then, for the first time, the memory mentioned me. "You'll understand eventually," it said gently, "that I only keep what others forget." The dial dimmed, the static softened, and the radio fell quiet, as though it had run out of moments to share. It took a while, a few cups of tea and a mildly concerned call to a friend, before the truth settled in. The radio didn't broadcast memories. It preserved them, not in a supernatural, soul-stealing kind of way, nothing dramatic. It simply held the small, quiet memories that people had forgotten. Scarves drifting away, warm kitchens, crooked cafe tables, rainy train rides, half-finished tomatoes, Sunday laughter. Memories too gentle to cling to, too warm to disappear entirely. The radio kept them, played them back, let them exist a little longer. And when people who had lived those moments drifted close, like my neighbor, the radio seemed almost proud to return them, like a librarian reuniting someone with a long-lost book. Eventually, the device went silent, not broken, just satisfied. Its dial glowed one last time, warm as candlelight, then faded into a comfortable rest. OUTRO, warm and reflective. I still keep the radio on my shelf. It doesn't turn on anymore, at least not in the ordinary sense. But sometimes I imagine it humming quietly, remembering memories no one else bothered to keep. Some mysteries aren't meant to unsettle us. Some just remind us that the world holds on to little pieces of us, even the ones we let go of. And if you ever find an old object that seems to whisper, glow, or tune into something you can't explain. Maybe it's not broken. Maybe it's remembering.